Hi, Chris Duff over at Serious Land Capital, vacant land funding partner. And today, just wanted to share some updated thoughts about everybody's favorite topic, AI, and how we're continuing to utilize it within our own business and just thinking about knowledge work in general. My toddler was just going through a bit of a phase transition with sleeping and been waking my wife and I up odd hours of the night, and so during some of those sleepless portions, mind just starts daydreaming. Wish I was actually dreaming about some various thoughts and so forth. And so I was spending like an hour plus just thinking about the implications of AI as I was trying to fall back asleep last night. Within our business, first, I I've learned a lot from, I think our famous Callan Faulkner within the land space, though I'm not even sure she's fully in the land space. She might have converted fully over to AI now based on our recent success, and I'm not surprised. I wish her all the absolute best. I've learned a lot from her, and just utilizing AI on a daily basis, and I've truly hit that point now over the last few months, especially, and just like week over week, just continue to be more impressed with the capabilities of these various softwares. And, more directly within our own business, for instance, I'm just thinking about, every single task that is being done. Is there a route to attempt to start to automate some of this, if not all of it, across every worker within the business, including myself, of course. So I know I've mentioned on this podcast a few times, like the great success that we've utilized AI recently for SEO and GEO articles specifically. Work like that really lends itself to where these LLM models have been built out to so far. And I think that's only going to continue to increase. And so, on my end, even as like the core skill that have really built up over the years is, really underwriting and capital management and so forth. Obviously, I'm trying to build a software that democratizes that capability much more, effectively flattens the overall ability of anybody within the land industry to properly underwrite land deals, because like ultimately it's something that can be broken down. Like there's no sacred cows, there's no secret sauce for really anything within knowledge work. And so I'm just trying to keep that in mind and realize that okay, everything can be automated and probably is only going to be trending in that direction more and more so on an accelerated scale. Same with everything my partners do. They have less direct input within the business, but, some key silos they still participate within, especially within the legal side. And there's already been some new tools that have been experimenting to help make doc prep a lot easier, and, maybe a few refinements here and there. But that saves extra time and cost and so forth as well. And everything my primary VA does, two, trying to figure out how can I both add more to his plate while reducing the burden of a number of these tasks. Just kind of looking at the numbers here, we're trending on arriving at, 8-figure top line revenue business by the end of 2025, with clearing, currently projected over $1 million in net profit. That if we got to 10 mil top line, then that profit number should be even higher. So far, that net profit number is probably more accurately trending based on what I was looking at over the past week or so. That's starting, we're still like a very small company compared to, look at those massive conglomerates or the tech giants and so forth. But, it's starting to become, a business that can, provide for everybody involved within it. And we built up some real staying power, and we're only continuing to accelerate. So, and, all of that is, being built with 3 core equity partners, with really myself being the primary day-to-day operator. And then we have, 1 core VA within the business. everybody else, like we have tons of other people who help contribute to the business, but a lot of them are paid, after we exit a deal, or they're contractors. And so there's no like direct employment or, even 1099 set up within the business. And so it's like, okay, can we build an 8-figure business with just like one core VA? How big can we get with having such a limited personnel drag on the company from a resources and expense perspective, just by utilizing top level technological inputs and making things as efficient as possible. So that is where my mind is constantly going. And now to take it more in a general direction, just knowledge work as a whole. First, again, we need to look at, science as a whole, like the raw base principles, the absolute core requirements for getting anything done. First principle thinking, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Sorry. So, I've been reading a lot more on the theoretical, physical, a lot of the Brian Greene books here, and some of my favorite books ever, David Deutsch. It's like the most optimistic, basically using physics to prove out optimism. I mean, the world-changing type of books here. I'd highly recommend them. But, a core maxim that David Deutsch always points out is that all problems are soluble so long as they are not impossible from the realm of physics. And there are very few things that are truly impossible from a physics standpoint. Most have to do with surpassing the speed of light, which is not something we've even come close to attempting to surpass throughout all of human history. So pretty much anything outside of that is, in fact, possible. So problems are soluble, which means that anything that we're doing as knowledge workers can and is possible to be replicated. That is just a fact. So I think a lot of us, especially those that are more highly educated, I mean, I throw up my hand here, I've spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars on higher education, have a medical degree, etc. Obviously went in a different direction, but, you start to become a bit more entrenched and feel like, okay, I am reaping the rewards for putting in so much time and money and resources to get to this point. Like, I should be rewarded for the knowledge that I'm bringing to whatever industry that I'm in. And oftentimes that's the case, and that's been the case for thousands of years within human history. It's just the catch-up point from a technological perspective is just rapidly accelerating, that we can't think that any position is safe anymore, or any knowledge work that is being done is safe in principle. I mean, look at, from a software engineering perspective, some of these LLM models are already performing in the top 100 coder, testing setup. I'm not exactly sure how that's done, but, they're testing as if they are, one of the top 100 software engineers in the entire world. And it's estimated that the LLMs will take over as the number one coder in the world by next year, approximately. So this is rapidly changing. So, us as investors, are we really doing anything that different from what software engineers are necessarily doing? Like, a lot of it is just logical throughput, pattern matching, analyzing data. None of that, again, has anything that is sacred or has a secret sauce associated with it. So we just have to keep in mind that no matter how good we are, ultimately, some of these technologies can eventually catch up. And so to me, I just fully embrace that. Like, it's just, what can I replicate? And then that forces me to evolve. Okay, I need to abstract further and further out in order to continue to still provide value to the overall economy and the industry that I'm in. So to me, I view it as a positive factor. And I realize there's a lot of trepidation. And again, the employees especially, or any type, even entrepreneurs and so forth, that feel they've been rewarded. Again, they're feeling some vulnerability, especially if they haven't used AI models. And, there's even some sabotage going on in companies where it's like, hey, I don't want to use these LLMs because then that's going to prove to whoever my boss is and so forth that I'm actually not as useful to them anymore. It's a totally normal psychology, but nevertheless, that's something that is not going to hold up with the test of time. Like, I mean, me looking as like pretty much the CEO of my business, yeah, I want to just make everything more efficient as possible, replace human output with technology as much as I can. You'd be foolish to think that any other business leader is not thinking the same way. Maybe they're a little bit behind the curve, a bit older generation, but as soon as that info is coming, I mean, look, if you sign up for Callan's newsletter, I mean, she's talking to a multi-billion-dollar private equity manager who was a bit older, and she opened his eyes to the AI side, and just like private equity in general, they're looking to make things more efficient, cut costs. That is going to be going on in every single industry, because every single business owner is going to be thinking, okay, why am I paying someone $50K, $100K, $100K, $1 million salary when either A, I can have AI replace that person entirely, or if I can't do that just yet, can I hire somebody who is embracing AI more within this job role compared to somebody who is being more resistant to embracing this technological change. Like, those conversations are already happening and going to continue to happen throughout every single industry. Like, to me, again, like there's no inherent job security anymore. And even if I'm proven wrong by that, do you really want to take the gamble? To me, it's a major gamble that that won't come to pass. To me, that is a huge risk. So I'd rather be preparing where we're heading to a world where there's absolutely no job security and you have to continue to keep evolving, which has really always been the case. It's just, from the dawn of time. It's just now it's even faster to evolve. So it's really nothing new, just faster pace here. But that is what I'd be thinking of constantly. Like, tenured positions and so forth doesn't exist anymore. Like, it's changing too fast. So you can't rest on your laurels. Technology is coming, and even if you resist it, the other decision makers, whoever may be above you, and we all have them, right? Like, even if you run your own company, if you have another competitor who embraces the technology better, you're going to lose out on your clients and customers anyways. Ultimately, you're going to be there's a forcing function regardless of where you operate. Whether you're an employee or a business owner, a manager, what have you. That's what I've been thinking a lot more about. And I saw, I know we're wrapping up here, it's been a longer one, but again, a lot of thoughts as I was staying up late last night. Like, Scott Galloway's team was sharing some research that, especially for Gen Z possible employees, that there was some poll for a lot of U.S. managers, various companies across different industries, and over 1/3 of U.S. managers said they'd prefer AI over a Gen Z hire, and an additional 45% would rather hire a freelancer or a former employee. So that's like the vast majority, right? So you're looking at, that's like almost 80% of all managers would prefer not to hire a Gen Z. So part of that is from a technological perspective, and part of that is, with the COVID hit, Gen Z a little less apt socially, oftentimes with training costs, etc. So that's an additional factor there. But to me, it's really that training piece as well too. They're the earliest in their careers, so probably the easiest from a knowledge work perspective of being replaced by AI. So to me, okay, you're starting at a little bit more of the bottom of the pyramid, and those of us who have been in our careers for longer, built up more knowledge work and so forth, okay, we might be saying, oh yeah, poor Gen Z, what have you, but this is the canary in the coal mine, right? That technological progress, again, is going to continue to increase and accelerate to come after some of our much higher levels of knowledge work as well. I include myself. Every single day, my output becomes a little less valuable compared to what some of these LLMs are doing. So again, you have to abstract yourself out further in order to continue to find ways to add value to whatever industry you are in. So Hopefully this is helpful. Maybe share with anybody who might be more resistant to technological change, or maybe that includes you. Like, have you started experimenting even a couple minutes a day of utilizing one of the AI tools, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or maybe more of the specialized ones, even utilizing and you're probably using it in some way anyway. Even if you do a basic Google search now, look at how many of your responses are showing up with the AI Gemini summaries there. So, you're already getting some usage, even if you wouldn't directly consider it to be, directly targeting AI use. So just notice the creep throughout all parts of your life. And that's why I'm still so optimistic. Just a final point here. Like, obviously a lot going on from a macro perspective, tariffs, et cetera. It's just kind of, who knows, a lot of uncertainty at the moment. But I just feel like, okay, this technological pretty much windfall that we're sitting on and just accelerating right now, like, if you really start playing around with these LLM models and so forth, and just understanding the potential that we have to drastically transform our lives across the world, probably faster than we can even imagine if we continue to adapt and invest in this, to me, that is going to outweigh any of the other various complexities that are currently going on. So again, future is built by optimists. Never forget that. Deal with challenges as they come. But that is the viewpoint that I choose to embrace. So seriousland.capital for any of your funding needs. Zero cost review of your diligence deals. Your land deals at Land Daily Diligence Facebook group. Again, sorry, I didn't sleep the most last night. And then landpricer.ai, a lot more beta tests are outgoing, a lot more feedback, very much appreciated. Again, from some of the biggest names in the land space, taking the time to review and test this out. Couldn't be more grateful. I'm going to continue to refine the product and look to launch it here later this month is the goal. Looking forward to that. Take care, everybody. See you next time. Bye.